Good morning, Willard Wildcats. Happy Tuesday, August 25th. Today we have 3 birthdays to celebrate. Happy birthday, Fernando E., Samantha G.C., and Matthew V. We hope you have a wonderful birthday on this Tuesday. Wildcats, remember this month of August we are celebrating the attitude of respect. The learner profile characteristic that we are celebrating is being caring. I would like to share this book with you today. It's one of my favorites, Edward and the Pirates by David McPhail. And it shows respect for one of my most favorite things. And at the end, we'll talk about what that is. Edward and the Pirates. Edward and the Pirates. Look at this beautiful illustration. Can you see that picture? Once Edward learned to read, there was no stopping him. Cereal boxes at the breakfast table. Do you feel that way about reading? You want to read everything that's in front of you? I feel that way. Seed catalogs that arrived on the coldest days of winter, the inscription on the monument in the town square, and books, all kinds of books. Edward especially liked stories of adventure. When he read about Admiral Perry racing by dog sled to the North Pole, Edward was right alongside, comforting the brave dogs and urging them on. When he read that the bold outlaw Robin Hood was surrounded by the evil sheriff of Nottingham's men, it was Edward who came to the rescue. Do you imagine adventures? Can you see them? Do you visualize them? Do you ever write them down? It's an important thing to do. And when he read about Joan of Arc leading her troops to victory, it was Edward who carried her shield and held it up just in time to deflect the bow of a battle axe. Sometimes what Edward read seemed to become real. Does your reading become real? When we get really hooked, it does become real. Once, while he was reading a book about dinosaurs, he was convinced he'd seen a Tyrannosaurus looking in his window. Do you see that Tyrannosaurus? It's really important to pay attention to all the details in pictures. Next to home, the library was Edward's favorite place. He had his own library card and could borrow all the books he could carry. One day, Edward found a book lying on a shelf behind some other books. The book was old and covered with dust. Edward blew away the dust and read the title, Lost Pirate Treasure. What do you think's in there? Are you wondering that? I'm curious. He sat down and began to read. Some pirate treasure has never been found. Edward was still reading when he felt someone tap him on the shoulder. It was Miss Torres, the librarian. Time to go, Edward, she said. The library will be closing soon. Edward checked out the book and walked home, arriving just in time for supper. What do you think this pirate treasure is that has never been found? That night, Edward went to bed early, taking his book with him. When the pirate ship was being tossed about on stormy seas, it was Edward who bravely took the helm. Sometime in the night, Edward felt his bed being bumped. What do you think's happening? Do you think he's dreaming? Maybe. If you think he's dreaming, say, he's dreaming. If you think it's real, say, it's real. Edward sat up and looked around and saw he was surrounded by pirates. What are you pirates doing in my room? He demanded. We've come for that book, answered the pirate who seemed to be the leader. We think it tells where our treasure is buried. I can't give it to you, Edward explained. It's checked out on my library card. You'll have to wait till I return it. What is it showing you that Edward has respect for there? The book and his library card? Definitely. The pirates begged, but Edward wouldn't change his mind. They pleaded, but Edward folded his arms around the book and shook his head no. They even promised him a share of the treasure, but that didn't work either. Do you think the treasure's gold? I want you to think about that and keep that in your mind, because we're going to keep reading to see if what you're thinking, what you're predicting is right. You'll have to walk the plank, threatened the pirates, but Edward stood firm. Finally, one of the pirates drew his sword and waved it over Edward's head. Hand it over, he roared, but Edward wouldn't budge. Better be quiet, he warned the pirates, or you'll wake up my mom and dad. He seems pretty tough there with his teddy bear, doesn't he? Edward had just finished speaking when the door to his room burst open and someone riding a huge white horse charged in. It was Edward's mother. She was dressed in a shining suit of armor and was carrying a lance. She pinned the sword-waving pirate to the wall, but then the other pirates drew their swords and closed in for the attack. That's kind of the exciting moment of the story, isn't it? Feels it to me. Suddenly, in a flurry of bows, arrows flew through the air, knocking all the swords away. A figure dressed in a green tunic bounded into the room, bow drawn, arrows at the ready. It was Edward's father. Does he remind you of a character? Maybe Robin Hood? Back off, he commanded the pirates. Go stand in the corner. The pirates did as they were told. Don't hurt us, they begged. Edward felt sorry for the pirates. They only came for this book. He explained to his mother and father, I don't think they meant any harm. Edward handed the book to the pirates. The head pirate held it open while the others huddled close by, talking in whispers. After a few minutes, the pirate gave the book back to Edward. It's of no use to us, he said sadly. We can't read. You can't read? Asked Edward. Not one word, answered the pirate. None of us can. I'll read it to you then, said Edward. That's it. That is, if it's all right with my mom and dad. And it was. But don't stay up too late, Edward's mother told him firmly. And close the window when you leave, said Edward's father to the pirates. As his mother and father left the room and went back to bed, Edward opened the book and began to read aloud. Some pirate treasure has never been found. Okay, what was the treasure in the book? Do you think it was the gift of being able to read, or the skill of being able to read? Perhaps. Do you think he had a great deal of respect for that library card in that book? For sure. And because we're celebrating being caring, was he caring toward the pirates as he helped them and read to them? He's probably going to help teach them how to read. Lots of good examples of being an IB student in Edward and the Pirates. Wildcats, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a great day.